This is Chapter 2 installment on my book, Wake Up Nurturing, 6 Basic Focuses for Global Community Living. Chapter 2 is Monumental Challenges. Why cooperation is required for sustainable survival. There are numerous natural events that we may not survive well, many of which are ever present. And there are rare but completely catastrophic events that are possible too. Plus, one can look around and readily see how we, the human species, over the last century alone, have undermined our own chances of sustainable survival with wars alone. There is no guarantee that our species will still exist 300 years from now. Many dire challenges lie immediately ahead. How will we approach them? At this time, we have to deal with overpopulation, unequal distribution of wealth and resources, undereducated populations, greed and corruption, disharmony and fighting, natural disasters, lack of good jobs for working families, shrinking water and food supplies, crumbling roads and bridges, and good, clean, nature-friendly energy, just to list a few. Just 4 of the current big global challenges. Overpopulation. The growing rapid increase in human population over the past 200 years has raised concerns that the planet may not be able to sustain the present or larger numbers of inhabitants. A number of studies show that many environmental problems, such as rising levels of atmospheric, land, and water pollution, are aggravated by the population expansion. Other problems associated with overpopulation include the increased demand for resources such as fresh water and food. This leading to starvation, malnutrition, and the overconsumption of natural resources. This growth is not sustainable. Number 2, food shortages. The tight food supply the world is now facing is driven by the cumulative effect of several well-established trends that are affecting both global demand and supply. On the demand side, the trends include continuing addition of about 70 million people per year to our population, and the desire for some 4 billion people to consume more grain-intensive livestock products. Additionally, undermining all of this is the acceleration of the use of grain to produce ethanol for cars. Meanwhile, on the supply side, there is little new land to be brought under plow unless it comes from clearing tropical rainforest in the Amazon and Congo basins and in Indonesia, or from clearing land in Brazil. Unfortunately, this has a heavy environmental cost. The loss of oxygen-producing plants, the release of plant carbon, and the loss of valuable animal species, and increased rainfall runoff and soil erosion. And in scores of countries, prime cropland is being lost to both industrial and residential construction. And, of course, farmlands are becoming overused and less able to produce good harvests. Additionally, climate changes will bring unforeseen challenges. Number 3, water shortages. Water scarcity already affects every continent. Almost 1/5 of the world's population live in areas of water scarcity, and an additional 500 million people are approaching this situation. Almost 1/4 of the world's population face economic water shortage. That is, cannot afford the cost of infrastructure to bring water from rivers and lakes. Water will be one of the main problems to be faced by the world in the 21st century. Water use has been growing at more than twice the rate of the population increase in the last century, and an increasing number of regions are chronically short of water. Water scarcity is both a natural and a man-made phenomenon. There is enough fresh water on the planet for 7 billion people, but it is distributed unevenly and too much of it is wasted, polluted, or poorly managed. Number 4, weather trends. A recent NASA-funded study used a computer climate model to simulate the next 50 years of climate changes. It projects noticeable increased warming regardless of whether or not nations curb their greenhouse gas emissions soon. This is just one of several international climate models recently released that project climate changes that will impact our lives substantially. If no emission reductions are made and they continue to increase at the current rate, the global temperatures may increase 2 to 4 degrees Fahrenheit in our lifetime. As the planet warms up, studies indicate these impacts and many more not listed. More weather extremes and violent storms. More wildfires and lost properties. Much more fire-based air and water pollutants. Desert sizes will increase. Some lakes will disappear. More rain, but less usable water, raining too much too quickly. Changing animal behavior and animal extinctions. More pollen and allergy problems. Larger insect populations and their damages to our food supplies. Raising sea levels and more incidents of coastal flooding and dislocation of communities. And many additional big challenges are ahead. Monetary instability, reduced basic social services, viral pandemics, and even threats from space and solar flares. We must not ignore any of the problems facing us all. We must address them. These challenges place all of us at risk. We need to prepare and manage ourselves and our world in a much better way than we currently do. Any of the known challenges we face, or some other unforeseen challenge, could severely undermine our current standards of living. We could all find ourselves living in very hard times much quicker than we would like to admit. Under dire circumstances, sustainability and our fragile, non-unified global community will quickly fall into jeopardy or disintegrate to some undesirable degree. We would then quickly begin to lose our standard of living and vital knowledges and skills that we depend on daily, such as medicine, education, energy, transportation, metallurgy, toolmaking, chemistry, electronics, manufacturing, construction, farming, and so many more. We cannot afford to lose any of our vital knowledges. Right this minute, we do not have good global plans in place to deal with any dire, widespread disasters. Yes, we have some plans, but they are not globally based, often underfunded, and are not fully developed. And we have few emergency resources that are currently in reserve for any type of disaster. Look at our recovery methods and rates from every huge natural disaster in the last 10 years around the world alone, and wake up to our current disaster recovery limitations. Currently, most of our disaster plans only address smaller regional disasters. We have very incomplete or no global disaster plans, nor do we currently have any resources for any large-scale global disaster. A set of basic focuses is required. We need to get focused on some common ground. Wisdom is forged from comprehensive knowledge and lessons learned. And there cannot be any meaningful level of comprehensive global knowledge without a global commitment to cultivating and achieving a global common ground. It is vital that we create a set of basic focuses for global community living. A basic foundation for living better, more gracefully, and towards sustainable survival, to include every person in our species in this common ground. It is past due to begin a new chapter in the growth, nurturing, and sustainability of our species on a global level. Let's explore a set of basic common focuses that could support us in our quest for a global common ground. We must address this issue. To survive as a species, we need a good and comprehensive system of common knowledge. First, and more importantly, we need a common set of focuses that we can share and allow us to work together more easily and productively as a global community to bring us to common positive ground. We need to accept now that the world has become our local community and that we are all one close family. We need to value our neighbors around this small planet and begin working together towards a much more nurturing posture than we have been able to achieve up to now. We need to accept that the demise of any group within our community will be the demise of us all sooner or later. So, we must set focuses on and promote sustainable survival for our species. This can only be accomplished through shared comprehensive knowledge, wisdom, and global cooperation. What then is the best way to proceed to create this shared comprehensive knowledge, wisdom, and global cooperation? The starting point is to have a global discussion and establish a global set of basic focuses for global community living by which every plan, every issue, and every action can be measured against for its merits or demerits towards creating a global foundation on which the human species can better work together and for our common good. Without a global set of basic focuses for global community living, we cannot establish a broad global foundation from which to build the needed common comprehensive knowledge, wisdom, and global cooperation. And we will be unable to step up to the daunting challenges we must face as a species, now or ever. Without a global set of basic focuses for global community living, we will perish from the earth like the dinosaurs and the millions of extinct species that came before us. Thank you for enjoying Chapter 2 of my book, Wake Up Nurturing. Chapters 1 and the introduction are already posted, and I hope that you enjoy this and share this with friends. So until my next posting, please think global community living and sustainable survival. And please continue to share the 6 global focuses for promoting positive global community living. Good attitude, good awareness and reasoning, good care of self, good contribution to our global community, good love and nurturing, embracing our connection with all of nature. See you next time with more thoughts and ideas on global community living. Peace and hugs. Pat True, out.